Hi, lovely to have you here. Welcome to the Electro Revolution channel. My name is Michael and I'm a car and tech enthusiast. What we're doing here is we're presenting a series of videos for our review of the Tesla Model Y Launch Edition. Now, as I've explained in previous videos, this particular vehicle was only available for order in January and February of 2025, and delivery started in May of 2025. So in this particular episode, now this is the fourth episode of the series. I hope you've watched already episodes 1, 2 and 3 because this is a continuation of those. In this particular episode, this is what we'll cover. Now excuse me for reading this out because there is a lot of items to cover in this particular episode. So we'll be discussing the steering and the steering buttons. We'll also be discussing the windscreen wipers and be reviewing the sound system. We'll be opening the glove box and we'll be discussing the rear view mirror. We'll also be discussing the internal camera that's in the vehicle, and we'll also discuss the wider maps view that's part of the nav system. And lastly, the seat ventilation and the seat heating and the seat adjustments. So I really hope you enjoyed this episode. You talk about the steering because I notice here buttons, and this is a cover you bought.
This is a cover that I bought again, because I'm going to keep this car for a while. I want to cover it. I want to protect it. I just bought this particular one, just, aftermarket stuff. But let's go through this. I mean, let's go through the left-hand side. You've got your high beam, which you can just activate whenever you want to. Okay. So you notice your light comes on. Oh, yeah. So your high beam's coming on. Your windscreen wiper. Now, I don't like doing this when it's not wet, but... And it also brings you up the option as well, which you can then just select, I'll do it again, and select which mode you want it on.
How do you let the water?
Oh, but that's by holding it. So if I hold it down, the water starts spraying.
There you go.
Very nicely done. And that's it.
Very nice.
And again, I'm just going to switch that off because I do notice that when you put on auto, you're driving, all of a sudden it just comes on.
Okay.
It's a bit strange.
I don't know. When it's not raining?
When it's not raining, yeah. Perfectly clear day, it just comes on. I don't know what triggers it, but
There's usually a sensor within this area which does a lot of things, but one of those things is a rain sensor.
Really? Okay.
It's usually behind the mirror in these areas.
There you go. But yeah, so I that just to remind me to switch it off. And I do that.
Did you do any other modifications here, or this is what you get?
This is exactly what you get in stock.
Okay.
So that's a high beam. That's the windscreen wipers. The knob goes up and down. Turns up your volume as well. It also plays music. So if I go to a radio station, you turn the volume up and down.
Yeah.
It answers your call as well. So you can push the button to answer your call, and you can toggle left and right to cancel the call or put on pause and so on.
So what I've got here is 16 speakers, including a subwoofer. Do we know where the subwoofer is?
No idea where the subwoofer is, but...
That sounds more like it's at the front than the rear.
Yeah, so I think the sound, again, it's one of these options. I can't remember which one it is, but you can't tell where the sound can go and so on. I can't remember where it is actually. So but you can direct the sound to.
That's okay. We can look at this in another video.
Yeah.
If we can spend more time on this console with.
There we go.
Oh,
here it is. Sorry.
Oh, it's actually centered balance. Okay.
Yeah. So you can move it.
Oh yeah, I hear it from the back.
Yeah.
And
but you hear that bass?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful
bass. The subwoofer
bass.
is right at the back.
It's a beautiful bass, and I'm going to move to the front. And check this out. I mean, I can move.
It's very crystal clear.
Wow. That's just a radio, so we don't have a licensing to do that. So hopefully we won't get in trouble on that. But really, really nice options. Yeah.
Back to the steering.
Back to the steering. Sorry, the right-hand side we haven't covered. Of course, the horn is in the middle.
Okay, very nice.
Can't really hear.
Sound better,
acoustic glass. The right-hand side, you've got your speedo here. This is where you set your, actually, sorry, no, that's your, the camera, to activate the camera. So you can see what the rear, the sides. While you're driving, you can actually switch that on. You can see that.
Do we know the resolutions of the camera?
I don't know what the resolution, but it's quite clear, yeah.
That's extremely clear.
It's quite good. The other one,
that's cruise control.
This one is you press it to set cruise control. But of course, I'll show that you later. And then you can turn up this cruise, what speed you want to set it on by turning up and down. This one here is your voice command. So again, I just normally just use it for setting up the temperature and stuff like that. But there is a feature, the glove box. You can open it this way.
Interesting.
Now let's just put that away because that, wet wipes.
Yep.
And that is the only two ways that's one way, but there's no handles, there's nothing. I mean, it's I don't know how else to open it. I haven't found another way to open it.
It's actually quite small too.
It's quite small, but that's one way to open it.
Yep.
Or the other way, if I close it back up again, and I use the command, open glove box. There you go.
Okay.
And it will open that. So those are the only two ways that I know that can open the glove box. But yeah, so we're driving, normal command, call this person, your hands-free stuff, map navigation. It can understand most of the stuff that you're saying. I mean, my English is...
That's all right. I noticed looking at this top area, so we've got here, it looks like it opens from there.
Yep, flip it down.
And opens again, and of course a light.
Light comes on. Clear your makeup.
And then the other thing here, this is most probably touch. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I mean, I'm accustomed to these from other vehicles.
Yep.
And that's a hazard.
That's a hazard light. Comes on.
Interesting. I've never seen a hazard on the top.
There is a trick as well. So when you put into drive and so when you put your foot on the brake pedal, your option comes up.
Yeah.
Now you can also do that by pushing here and just hold it, and it comes up.
P, R, N, and D. Of course, parking, reverse, neutral, and drive.
And from here again, once you put your brake pedal on, you can just press that, and it. I'm
actually very surprised at this neutral gear because what I understand, there was one time I was almost running out of battery on one of long story, but I was running out of battery on it. And one of the things the tow truck, when I had to ring them, the tow truck driver said is don't let it run out of battery because it locks the vehicle and it's hard to put it onto the truck. And the reason is there's no neutral gear.
This one has a neutral gear.
Neutral means you can push it.
You can push it. Yeah.
Very interested.
So it's not locked in.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about the mirror?
Oh,
I'm sure there's auto dimming and it looks...
I don't know about auto dimming, but it's a very nice mirror. And if I can say anything about the Tesla, it does have if I can, how do I say it? If I can complain anything about the Tesla very different, is that the rear view window is very small.
Okay.
So the view to see through the rear view is very small. But you are compensated for the side mirrors and so forth. And also through the camera at the back.
Of course.
But because I've come from, your normal ICE car to now driving this, that rear view mirror is very small, or the rear view is very small. It's a lot smaller than what I'm used to.
I haven't checked this up myself, but I think on a vehicle of this quality, it would have some sort of dimming feature.
Right.
That comes standard with a lot of these.
I think so. You can see there's a bit of a...
Because the problem is when someone either intentionally or unintentionally have their high beams on behind you, if you remember the old days, they used to have the lever here or the lever on top and it would bring the thing down so you don't see anything except their headlights.
Yep.
But as far as I know, and this has happened now, this has been active now for many cars for the last 10 or 15 years, they do have auto dimming facilities within the rear view mirror.
I think it does because there is a slight shade of some kind of color. It's a nighttime, you can see it.
I notice here also, is that an internal camera?
That is internal camera. You do need to give permission for that to be activated. So it's a setting in there that you'd say, okay, now, I'm happy for it to record on.
Now, I'm asking this question because I know on other vehicles, it picks up when you're yawning or you're sleeping and it starts to bing and bong saying you're losing concentration on the road, because there's safety features they're introducing in these cars by laws of different countries, which is quite annoying for some people. So does this camera notice whether you're sleepy or you're yawning or anything like that?
I'm not sure because I haven't activated that camera. I think that camera is more for internal. So, you know, if you're using this vehicle to earn incomes and stuff like that, that can also record the passenger that you're carrying as well. So it is an option, or it's a feature that you need to give them permission to record.
Excellent. And we do notice, like when I look at back to the GPS maps, if we can go there, because one of the additional features of the map that's introduced here is a full widescreen view. It says here wider LTE coverage, which is why wider maps view.
So I don't know. I haven't actually looked at the wider gap because that's all I've been using. Just pretty much what I see there. Yeah. So when you put on the car gets moving, that's what you're seeing there. So I haven't actually used it any other way or viewing it fully. Ventilated seat.
Yes.
Yes.
This is one of the new features here, is the ventilated and heated seats, but the ventilation in the launch edition.
So let's bring that up again.
Now, is that for the front and rear or just the front?
Just for the front. Just for the front. So again, when you press that, you're going to have an auto, which then the car detects if it needs cooling or warming up and stuff like that, or you can just press it automatically. When you press cool, you have 3 options, or 3 speed, fan speed that's blowing air or ventilating the seats. You can press it again to reduce that ventilation.
That's very interesting. I haven't seen that feature before. Normally it's ventilation on or off, but not the power of the ventilation. How strong it is.
Well, I do have that in the Kia Carnival.
Okay.
You do have that option. Again, it's 3 options. You push it and you feel how strong it is.
And the adjustments of the seats, how many adjustments are
Quite a fair bit.
Like, there's usually front, back, and the rear seats up and down, and the
back cushion. So the lumbar cushion, I think.
Yeah, the lumbar support.
Yeah, lumbar support. So you have all that options on the driver's side. I don't know. Can you feel on the left hand?
Memory of the seating?
Yes. So you save it every time you do it.
Yep.
And it will know that is your profile. So my wife and I drive this one. So when she comes in, it sets to her profile. Okay. So the car will set that to her profile. Well, that was the end of episode 4. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it. If you did like this video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone interested, or just leave a comment. Episode 5 is coming. Until then, I hope to see you there. Bye for now.